When I think of who I was growing up, I always loved hosting people. I loved putting together a menu and getting the table set and inviting my friends over, and I just love making people comfortable. If I look back on who I was growing up, I think what I do today is very similar to that, even though it was a bit of a non-linear route to get here. I'm Tara Hankinson. I graduated from Stern in 2015, and I'm the co-founder and co-CEO of Talea Beer Co. We started the company in 2019 with our first beer in market. We pretty quickly got into Whole Foods, but at that point, we were actually losing money for about 2 years until we opened our brick and mortar. We opened our first location in Williamsburg, Brooklyn in 2021. That's our flagship brewery and our first tap room. In 2022, we opened our second tap room in Cobble Hill, Brooklyn. And then last year in Q4 2023, we opened our 2 Manhattan locations, one in the West Village and one in Bryant Park. So we've gone from brewing a few hundred barrels of beer a year to this year we'll hit close to 7,000. At that point in my career, I wasn't qualified for a lot of jobs at the next level, and I had in the back of my mind, I could potentially go to business school. So I wanted to apply to get my MBA to shift my career and open up a lot more possibilities. And at the time, coming from a nonprofit background, I felt like Stern understood that I wanted to pivot my career and leverage what I had learned in the nonprofit world, bring it to Stern, but ultimately go into a more professional path. Coming on campus was great, talking to other students, and the sheer breadth and depth of the alumni community was another thing that attracted me because I did have this interest in food and bev and hospitality, and not every school has a connection to that industry. An experiential learning opportunity that I loved at Stern was doing a consulting project through one of the student clubs with Brooklyn Winery. I spent a semester leading a team to help Brooklyn Winery, which is based in Williamsburg, with their expansion plan. I helped them evaluate new cities and the different demographics and neighborhoods in those cities for their next location. We ended up recommending Washington, D.C., which they built, District Winery in D.C. And for me, I've used that exact same process to look into locations to expand Talea, our brewery. It was a great mesh of going through the actions of what it would be like to be a business owner and make that decision while getting to actually sit down at the table with a CEO of a company and see what they care about when it comes to their business expanding. The general manager, now CEO of Wolfer, was a Stern alum, a few years older than me. I approached him and just really told him I wanted to learn before my full-time job in management consulting started in the fall. And that was really formative for me. That's where the genesis of the idea of Talea came from, was actually being out there in the Hamptons and working at the winery. I think most Stern students have a good balance of having very aggressive career aspirations, but also want to build relationships at school, want to experience New York City, and are there to make those friendships. And for me, I knew it was a network that I wanted to build and I wanted to help me for the rest of my life. And it's a network that I still am very passionate about giving back to, whether that's coming back to speak at a student conference or taking a half-hour informational call with a student. It was amazing to walk into our brewery and tap room in Williamsburg and have it open, which happened in March 2021. And within a few months, everyone was ready to go out and drink beer and sit outside. It was really an exciting time for us and was years of our hard work coming to fruition. Also, we're releasing a new product line later this year. It will be in the range of hard lemonade, hard limeades. We're excited to, again, challenge people's perceptions of what craft beer, craft malt beverage can be and bring something new to our customers. It gives me a lot of credibility to have gone to Stern and taken these really challenging for me classes. So I think staying well-rounded, but also knowing what your strengths are is important too.